So I woke up this morning and I said to myself, Byron, you're one lucky chap. I said, why, Byron? I said, Byron, because you're the only black person at What Culture there working, doing any wrestling coverage right now. Really? Is that the truth? Why, yes, Byron, you're the only black that they just don't hire black people. So the fact that you're there, it's amazing. You're right, Byron. Thank you for giving the representation that these British wrestling shows just don't have. You're welcome, Byron. But how did we get here? Well, Technical Work Rate Productions, the good guys over at there, they are an emerging YouTube channel dedicated to bringing you wrestling content, news, and clarity. They're down with the Browns, so they sought me out, had me strap up my boots, and I'm gonna give you the good bits of down and the bad bits of brown. Why? Here's why. They don't hire black people at these British shows. Right, so we started everything off with Raw this week with a piping hot pipe bomb from Kevin Owens. Now, it wasn't really a pipe bomb, but it makes me warm in my tum-tum when Kevin Owens starts speaking. So he went on to talk about how his new ambitions are to take down the tribal chief, something we all know he's not going to do. We all know that, but we were excited for it. You get an... Look, Kevin Owens is an amazing talker. Every time he speaks, we shut up and we listen. This time, I thought he sucked. We're gonna give it a go. And I know. This sketch wasn't over because coming in was the rest of the Brawling Brutes who came in from the crowd. What is this? Is it a throwback to Roman Reigns? Are we throwing back to the Shield? I don't know. They came out. The funniest part of this entire sketch is that KO really did not give a flub. Flub. Why am I saying flub? Why aren't I flub? Why can't I say flub? Well, KO did not give a flub about any of the other guys, what they were saying on stage. It was hilarious. You don't have to see it, but if you did see it, that was a personal thing that was getting me through it because I was taking crazy pills. After the Brawling Brutes said whatever the flub they were saying, then the Judgment Day came out and they all said something that was totally pointless and useless. Because I was watching Dominic start talking and I said to myself, Byron, why is Dominic even speaking right now? I don't know what's going on in my life right now. Dominic sounds as if he's been spending the entire weekend taking acting lessons from Andy Dick. I don't know what's going on with him. Why is he talking? He needs more work. Down. Another thing, they came out because the Brawling Brutes, all these people from SmackDown were on Raw. I guess Trips is trying to make it seem like the Judgment Day are the goalpost on Raw, when in actuality they're more of the laughingstock. I don't know. They came in, said, next time I'm gonna get you. And then they walked away, only for Sheamus to say, well, come fight me now. I was putting my fingers through my eyes. This turned into what would become a skirmish, which would turn into a match. Are the wrestlers making their own matches now? Down. There were two segments that I somewhat remember where Sheamus was trying to say some kind of a joke. Maybe over here in England, it would have gotten over, but over in America, it was not happening. He said something about let me check my notes. A plastic patty? Now look, over here, we know what a plastic patty is, but in America, it doesn't translate. So when he called Finn Balor a plastic patty, it didn't really go over well. This was strike two, because the first time early in the speech, he said something else that just didn't make any sense. Sorry, I was just reliving exactly what happened and it made me go crazy for a second there. Just let the match start. Now, there were 6 matches on tonight's card, this being the first one, and it sucked. One thing that happened is that the OC came halfway through the match, I guess to equal it out, because if you think about it, the Judgment Day only has 3 male competitors. The OC has 3 male competitors. The Brawling Brutes have 5 male competitors. Why are there so many baby faces surrounding the heels? I don't know. Now the match has one silver lining in that KO's commentary was somewhat comedic, and he's very nonchalant about this group that he's in. Clearly he's going to do something evil in the match, or he's just proving or showing us, maybe he's just showing us that he just doesn't like the booking that he has right now, and he knows himself he's not going to be the tribal chief. But he was funny, so there's that. Although the match sucked, the build-up sucked, everything that was said sucked outside of some of the stuff KO said, this entire segment gets a nuclear bomb down because I don't know what I was doing with my life when this was happening. Right, next we went to Johnny Gargano, who was backstage. Whoa. Wow, I'm hitting a 360 because when Johnny Gargano was in NXT, yeah, he was a little guy, but at least he had a good story. Now he's in the big leagues, and I don't know what's happening with him, but I don't like it. Down. I'm the cheeriest guy on YouTube, but I can tell you, watching Gargano, week after week, it's making me feel like the Green Ranger. I don't know what's happening. What's going on? Look. Johnny Gargano is corny, irrelevant, and frankly useless to this storyline and to his booking right now. More importantly, he says he's going to do a match with The Miz. I'm not looking forward to it. Also down. Just a side note, this whole Dexter Lumis thing, it's kind of like the Karrion Kross build-up when he first came back. You put him against a main star guy with Drew McIntyre, you have him go over. The thing didn't go right. He said he was going after Roman Reigns. Has he gone after him? Barely mentioned him. Kind of went nowhere. This is that, but for way longer. I don't know where it's going. I push my fingers into my eyes. I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's happening with it right now. Why am I laughing while I'm talking? It's a thing I do. I laugh while I'm talking like I'm running out of breath. It's not funny. I don't know why I do it. So, like the true heel master that The Miz is, he comes out to the ramp. He's he's got bandages on his hands. He says, I'm sorry, I can't do this. WWE loves to do the bait and switch. I don't know, it doesn't make me warm in my tongue, but we did get a replacement that I personally thought was hilarious. Omos. Now going into this match, Gargano has no real push. There's no reason for us to assume that he was going to win. Omos just got done losing to another giant, so he's not going to lose this match. Where's the storytelling? Where's they going to go with this? Oh my God. It's all right. I just think about Sesame Street and I get my way through there, ease on down the road. The match was okay. It wasn't good. It wasn't good at all. You have to push through it. We're watching a children's show. Anyways, there's a couple of big spots. Gargano loses, doesn't really get protected. He doesn't look smart. Now, there was one good part about this, and that's The Miz on commentary. That's 2 matches in a row where the best parts of the match was the commentary. Miz killed it. All of his references, his complaints, it all worked and gelled pretty evenly. He even overshadowed Corey Graves, who usually does okay with commentary. But KO, Miz on commentary were the best parts of the show so far. Down. But I got to say, they put a black person on television in a predominant role, not looking like an idiot. Not only am I going to give it an up, I'm going to give it a brown. The Miz, at the end of the match, his faces, his laughs, The Miz is gold. The Miz is money right now. If you were flubbing Maurice at home, you'd come and be doing the best work you could too. If you, c'est la vie, portabella, almost hadn't hit the ground, legit, for like 2 years. It took 6 men to pick him up on Money in the Bank to toss him onto a table. He had, every time you knocked him off the ropes, he would land on his feet. But Gargano got him, I don't understand it. I put my fingers into my eyes! Next they cut to a segment. Why am I'm laughing, I'm talking while I'm laughing. It doesn't work. Why am I laughing while I'm talking? I don't understand it. They did a segment for the U.S. Championship match, Triple Threat. This is going to be between Seth Rollins, Austin Theory, and Bobby Lashley, aka the new Brock Lesnar. That's where they're pushing. I can feel it in my tongue. That's where they're pushing it. That's where they're going to take him. He's the more realistic Brock Lesnar. They didn't give him a lot of talking segments in this one little story segment. This would be amended later, but I don't know if you would like the result of them letting him talk. And for the comparison, the WWE story packages are much more developed and better produced than their competitors. That makes me want to give it an up, but we're going to give it a down because it was kind of pointless. This led into a Seth Rollins interview. He's got his new character, he's got his new blonde hair, he did his segment. The segment was fine. This was fine. It wasn't good, it wasn't bad, it was just fine. I don't know what's happening in my life that I'm watching this, but we did transition into a very heated and fiery Theory who watched the interview on the side. They turn in WWE, they turn, they look at the camera, they look at the monitor over here, they look at it and then they go, you know what? And he gave a really good rallying speech about how he's different. He's not a kid anymore, he's not a child, and he's gonna take that United States belt. I'll give it an up. The one thing I will say about this belt is that when I see Seth and his actions around the belt, it really does seem like Seth is more of a placeholder champion. He doesn't really want the belt. He's probably going to be the one to take the belt from Roman. And the way they took the belt off of Bobby Lashley when he had the United States Championship last is when he put him into a three-way. And so he was not pinned, and that's how he lost the championship. This may very well be the case. This being the go-home show for that event this coming up Saturday. We'll see what happens in the war games, the games of war. And in that Austin speech, we did see that Theory is going to be going against Mustafa Ali. R.I.P. He is getting squashed every show he's on, but he is getting TV time. I'll give him that he is getting the TV time, and I'm sure when his time comes, he'll get a meteoric push, and we'll see if he can sink or if he can swim. Though in his attempts, and he's been failing, he has been looking good. He doesn't look smart, but he looks good. He's getting TV time. Mustafa Ali's gonna take an L tonight, but we'll see what happens with him in the future. All of this felt very strongly like they're trying to make you feel engaged, and you do slightly feel engaged, but you're also disengaged because you don't care about the US title, do you? It's okay. You can tell me. I'm Byron. From what culture? All of this felt a bit overwhelming because nothing really good had really been happening in this entire first hour. This was the end of the first hour of Monday Night Raw. Now we're on to hour 2. Austin Theory versus Mustafa Ali. I guess Mustafa's got the waist tape to make his tum-tum warm and to explain why he's taking the loss. I guess we're not meant to see that it's got the tape. We're meant to believe that that's the reason. Why am I laughing? I just when I talk like this. I don't know. Graves is definitely working in overtime to get Austin over. Everything Graves is saying is obviously on a script, but the script is working because it's getting Austin to look a different way than he was looking before. It's not bad. Mustafa Ali took the L here. The match was what you expected it to be. I'm not going to cover the match because that wasn't the highlight of it. He's taking L's and he's looking good while doing it. I'm sure he's going to get a push, but while he's the squash guy, he's getting his TV time, and I'm sure he'll get his time. This is why maybe Vince could have booked him to see if people would, because the way he is now, no one cares. No one cares about Mustafa Ali, but he will get his chance. Now, after the match, Bobby Lashley got on the screen. He was talking some schlib. He was talking schlib. I can't cuss. The Bobby stuff on screen, he can't talk. I know this now. Bobby can't talk. But what was interesting about it is that Theory, unlike the heels like The Miz and even Seth Rollins at times, the chicken slib heels, he was not scared at all. In fact, he looked at the screen and he said, you know what? Just bring it. I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of cool to see him as this new emerging character who's not afraid of the Brock Lesnar. Ooh, but I gotta say that scar on Bobby's chest is so tragic. He's gonna have that for life. He had that in that skirmish that they had last week on Raw. I don't know what happened. Go back and watch the clip and you tell me in the comments what happened to Bobby. He got the scar on his chest. It was when they had the skirmish. He must have picked up the steel steps or got thrown into it. It's so bad. You might as well just complete it and do the Sagat. That's what my suggestion is. This all led into a Bobby threat that he's going to come down to the ring and take Austin Theory out. We went to commercial, and when we came back, Bobby came down to the ring. I said, oh man, why are they gonna do a back-to-back match? We're doing back to back. So Bobby comes down and Austin's just smiling. I said, I ain't got no glasses on. I don't have glasses on my face, but I still pushed my glasses up and he's smiling. I like what they're doing with Austin. Now, Bobby did, however, not go straight to the ring. He was talking. I said to myself, why is Bobby talking? I love Bobby. He's a black wrestler. He's coming in strong, aggressive. They do have a tendency to make black wrestlers either just super strong cock diesel with no character, or eyes are smiling for you. So he does fit the archetype that Vince usually likes for his black wrestlers, but I'm glad he's in a position of power somewhat, and he came out talking. He flubbed up his first he flubbed up his first line when it came out. He said something about, I thought you'd be in a car all the way out here already. Down. Look, the Austin Mustafa match, I'll give it an up. Not because it was a good match, but because I see what they're doing with both of them. I'm glad they played their roles. I'll give it an up, but I was bored out of my mind. Why the flub are you talking? I get it because this is wrestling, but why are you talking? The talking didn't last forever. They went against each other a little bit. He grabbed a chair. Austin grabbed a chair and just hit Bobby. Bow! Just bow with it. And Bobby just went, you on flubbed up now. Can I say, I can't say, is there a British equivalent for the word? What do you, so I am a black man and I can't call Bobby a, fair enough. Austin was having none of it. He finally turned into a chicken slib heel and he darted for the back. Now, Austin goes to the back. He sees Mustafa there. He gives him a couple socks. He scoops him up. Bobby comes on through the back door to gorilla position. Austin takes Mustafa and throws him at Bobby. Bobby is not having any of this. He takes Mustafa, embarrasses him in front of his entire culture, entire the world. Mustafa is getting his TV time. Look, if you had the choice between losing to literally, I wouldn't be surprised if Mustafa lost to Gargano next week on Raw. That's how bad he's, but you could either be doing that or you could be with Dolph Ziggler and Titus O'Neil in catering. Right. So this set up match 4 for the evening. This would be the Alpha Academy versus Elias and Riddle. Down. I know, I'm supposed to go over these matches. If you haven't noticed a trend in these match descriptions, I've barely talked about the match because I was just fast forwarding through them. What do you want from me? We're watching a children's show. They came to the ring. Of course, Riddle's got every week, he's got a new thing. He's got those fish this week with wings. Look, Elias is not over. He's over. Riddle is getting squandered. The Alpha Academy are over. I feel like for kids, they're wacky and zany enough for the kids, but for adults, they got a few things in there that just shows that, look, these are adults having fun. They're having fun with what they're doing. They're being annoying. They're being heels. It's fun to be a heel when you're good at it. And the Alpha Academy are having fun with what they're doing. I gotta give them their just due. I just do. But when it comes to this match, and I was thinking when I was watching it, I was just, I'm annoyed. I'm watching it and I'm annoyed. I don't know what I'm doing in my life. What did I do in my life? But I've got to say, again with the I've got to say that the Alpha Academy are in their creative zone. They're in their characteristic zone right now. Every splash, every hit. Oh, this is in the corner going, hooray! And I said, you know what? I like it. I dig it. I like it when people love what they do and they're inspired to do amazing things and have fun while doing it. You're getting paid in front of millions of people to act in absolute arsh. I can't say arsh. And it's a whole thing where I hate the match, but I love that Academy, the Alpha Academy, is having fun with it. So I for them having fun, I'm giving it up. Even though the match sucks, so I gotta give it $5,000. Look, I was bored. I fast forwarded through it. You shouldn't be bored. I was bored. I just wanted to get it over with. I'm sorry. I'm happy. Oh, so he got the 1, 2, 3 Alpha Academy lose. Of course, Elias and Riddle, they've been building up to this, doing one-off matches for weeks. For that payoff, you see why I gave it a down from the beginning. After that, we cut backstage, and JBL and Corbin, their new manager and the wrestling god situation going on. They're having a little poker match between the two of them. I don't know what happened. This was on the heels of last week's thing with Tozawa, where he went back there and was doing the gambling thing with them and ran them for all their money. So apparently they wanted to get back in there. Why are they doing this? I guess it's a JBL thing. So it's for the older people watching, because the younger people are going to say, well, they played poker last week and lost all their money. Why would they play it again? I don't know. Drew McIntyre came. Look, okay, it was all bad. Push my fingers into my eyes. JBL made some comment. He was making snide comments. He said, I would never want to die here in Albany, New York. I did research for the due diligence. Apparently, there's a man, Mario Cuimo. I don't want to butcher his name. I've already done it. A guy named Mario. He was like the governor's dad or something like that. He's 82 years old. He died this week in Albany. I guess old people watching the show who knew about that news fact would care. It's a kid's show. Why would kids care about that? I don't know. JBL was trying. He was trying. Then Drew McIntyre challenges Corbin to a match and sucker punches him. Drew, you're one of the biggest guys on the entire roster. Can you imagine Big Show coming up to R-Truth and saying, you want to fight me to a match? But was he scared? In fact, now that I think about it, I think Big Show did do that before. Wrestling sucks sometimes. Yeah, Drew doing all that down. 3 downs. 4 downs. 15 downs. What? Why? Is he a tweener now? Am I a tweener? Am I going between life and death? Oh God, I'm going to be Robin Williams if I keep watching this. Thankfully, that was the end of hour 2. Wrapping this up into hour 3 of Raw. Hour 3 starts off with that very match. We got Drew McIntyre. We got Baron Corbin, the wrestling god. He's got JBL on his side. JBL's out there where his pants got a little bit less baggy. He got a little less baggy with them. He got the tailor in there. You get a little Cinderella story going on. Watch out for the pumpkins after 12. So they have a match. Nothing to write home about. It was not terrible, but it was the farthest from good you could be. Another thing, Drew looks dumb for taking this match. Does this match help Drew? He's going into a 5-man war games in which there are no titles on the line. No one who wins is going to get any big push, because if the Bloodline wins, does it make them look any stronger? And if Drew McIntyre and all them win, do any of you look stronger? It's the Brawling Brutes, KO, and Drew McIntyre. Who cares who wins? It's going to be a good match. But Drew doesn't need this, and if anything, Corbin needed the win to make him look strong right now, because he's a new character. Well, hey, look, once again, this is match number 5 of 6 matches we'll have tonight. And the best parts of the match was the commentary. Now, in this case, it wasn't the direct commentary, it was just JBL out there, hey, you, just being animated. It's a kid show. So the animations have to be out there, and JBL brings the animations to it. Comedy aside, I tapped out. I was in the camel clutch Fast forward. Boring. I fast forward, I don't know, what seemed like 1,000 minutes, and I get to a part where Akira Tozawa, now with blonde hair. I don't know if he had blonde hair last week. He's got blonde hair now, okay? He's walking, doing his Matt Murdock. He slipped, fell into a barrel of toxic waste, and now he's got blonde hair. He jumps onto JBL in this simian monkey position where he's got his legs and arms locked around JBL in this very sexualized, I don't know. Outside of that weird slip, it's okay that Tozawa's getting screen time. It's kind of equivalent to the 24/7 championship slip that we're trying to get away from, but he's like the new R-Truth, because last week's was funny, this week was weird, but I'm glad he's getting a paycheck. I'm glad he's out of catering. He's never going to win a world title. He's never going to get anything important, but this, him being a comedic actor, it's funny. I'll give Akira Tozawa an up. The match gets 15 downs. So Akira comes in, causes a distraction. Of course, this leads to the L that Corbin will take, but he looks strong taking the L because of the distraction. So let's bring the distraction counter down. It's not a distraction counter for people who would have used a distraction to win a match. It's a distraction counter for making me be like David Carradine, because it was driving me crazy. I don't know what's happening, but I'm smiling. Okay. Backstage interview with the OC. 15 more downs. No one cares about the OC. Look, I'm sorry. I like one person in the OC. The booking is terrible. No one cares about Mia Yim. No one. I don't even know what they're calling. I'm not gonna call her that. I don't care. The two guys, I don't care. Oh God. I am watching a kid's show. Side note, they kept giving this promotion for Barmageddon. That show looks white as fuck. I didn't see a single black person in the commercial. I think they had Sasha Banks. But besides that, in the crowds, in the hosts, in the special guests, in everything, it just seemed like the good old boys. This is a show for the good. We're bringing it back to the good days. That's fine. Maybe everything doesn't have to be inclusive. Maybe certain things can just be what they are. Barmageddon looks extremely Caucasian. It's fine for you. I don't have any reason to watch it. It's okay, but it had to be said. Back from a long commercial break it could have been longer. The commercial could have been longer because we came back. We're in our last 30 minutes of the show, and who do we bring out? Rhea Ripley and Asuka. That's the only match they've advertised, and that's your okay. Okay. So we started this off with Bianca and all the good girls, the faces, coming out, and it's so clear. If you watch just the entrance, Alexa Bliss is over it. Her and KO, beginning and end, those two people do not want to be in the booking that they are in. It is so clear how over it they are. That was hilarious. But they walk to the stage, they walk to the ring, Bianca's talking, and it's funny because they say some stuff, Alexa doesn't care, no one's ready for Asuka, the crowd doesn't care. They were piping, the people backstage were, camera 2, okay, piping the people who care. Because no one cared. No one cared. You could hear it. It was piped in. They did it digitally. The crowd was just as exhausted as I was. Genuinely, sincerely. I hope that I'm okay, because I don't think I'm going to make it if I have to sit through any more of this garbage. Here comes the money. No, it wasn't Shane McMahon. It was Judgment Day. Rhea Ripley in the background, because Bayley, for some reason, is leading the charge. They got the 5 people that are on the heel War Games team. And they came out and they literally almost aired all the grievances I had. They talked about why isn't Bianca fighting tonight? She's the leader. Why isn't she fighting? They were just saying no one cares. No one wants to hear this garbage. Everything that we're feeling, frankly, watching this. The Faces still only have 4 women on their team. 4 against 5. They say they have their 5th member. Everyone's been contacting them. Look, it's going to be the Mexican woman, Gonzalez. She's going to be the 5th member. Who else could it be? They're going to unveil it on SmackDown. Oh, God. This assortment of people are colorful characters. The kids are seeing that this is the civil war for some kid out there, for one or two or three kids. This is civil war for them. And they're seeing these colorful characters, but for everyone else, I just know I'm going to go out like Socrates if I keep watching this every week. Okay, wait, this is a kid show. It's a kid show. It's okay. Honestly, all of this felt nothing like Civil War to me. It felt like the actual Civil War. It was pointless. It had a point to it, but people didn't have to die. I don't understand it. This all felt to me like a lot of writers who just don't understand how wrestling is supposed to be writing it because they just got out of college, and Trips was like, hey, you can work for me, you can come on, I don't know, I sound like a Mario, Luigi, I don't know, get it off my screen quickly as possible. Why is this the finale? Why is this the headlining match? Speaking of, our 6th match of the night, our final match, Asuka versus Rhea Ripley. Can I get 42,872 downs? This has got to be the worst main event. Oh, and don't give me any flubbing shib about this being women. No. Give me Bianca Belair versus Charlotte. Take my money. Give me Bianca Belair versus Rhea Ripley. Take my money. There are plenty of women's main events that you can put together. Oh my God, give me Bianca Belair versus the baddest woman on the planet. Give me that for WrestleMania. Take my money now. You can make that the main event. Bianca Belair versus Ronda Rousey. You can make that the headline of WrestleMania. I'm not sure that the world would accept it, but take my money now. Give me my money back. I didn't spend any money on this, and I want my money back. Nikki Ash was laughing. Even when Rhea Ripley was getting hit, she was getting force put upon her, Nikki was laughing. It was funny because she's insane. I like the character switch back to the old NXT. Nikki Ash, 1, 2, 3. It was boring. I'm glad that I'm glad that it's over. The match was over. I'm glad I wasn't Don Cornelius, and I thought the thing would just end there. Then they all get into a scrum. It's 5-on-4. No one looks strong. Everyone looks dumb. I'm putting SpaghettiOs on the floor and eating it off of there with bacon. I don't understand what's happening. Asuka jumps off the turnbuckle, jumps onto everybody. That basically was my life. Nikki, when everyone was on the floor who got hit from Asuka, everyone's Nikki's just smiling like the Joker. It was the only part that was kind of memorable and funny about it. I'm just glad the show is over. Oh boy, I can't remember the last time I gave an up. I'll give Nikki an up. Because Nikki was funny. I'm watching her story develop into something. The fact that the show is over, I'll give it 15 ups. No, I'll give you 1 up because the show is over. I don't know how much longer I can do this. Technical Work Rate Productions, I'm glad to see that they hold it down on a much more sustainable weekly basis. I'm going to try my best. But the guys over at Technical Work Rate Productions, they need your support now. Head on over to their channel. Make sure that you support them on Twitter. Technical Work Rate Productions, TWRP is the place to be. I'm glad I left What Culture, okay? What culture? What culture, okay? I'm glad I left. Hey, I'm glad you came here to spend some time with me, okay? If you made it through Monday Night Raw, then you might be feeling a little bit like how I'm feeling. And if you want to look the best that you can look, make sure you try Keeps. Wait, no, that's not. Okay, that's about. Or if you don't have food at home and you want some food delivered to you, then make sure you. No, I don't have the blue box. Oh, well, if you want the best toys and comics and things coming to you, get the metal crate box. No, they don't do that anymore. Well, I guess I don't have any sponsors, but I will say that I appreciate the guys over there at Technical Work Rate Productions because what they do is just I'm laughing while I'm talking. I think it's stupid. I'm glad that I get support from somewhere because the guys at What Culture, they don't see the value in having colorful commentators. You have color commentators as a job in the wrestling position. That was a play on words. That was a play on words. Listen, Idris can't be the only one. Idris can't be the only one. There's more of us there. Are there no black wrestling fans in Britain? Cheerio. Why? I've sent the letters. Why don't they like us? Do we have to have a civil war there to see, please sir, can we have some more black entertainers? It can't just be Idris. It can't. Did we do something wrong? Can we get Guy Ritchie? Where's Guy?